These are real photos of Donald Trump from moments ago outside of the White House. He just had a psychotic meltdown. I'm not using that term to be hyperbolic. He literally had a psychotic meltdown in the area that he now refers to as Club Rose Garden. It's where the Rose Garden used to be, that he and Melania tore up and turned into a club. He was apparently hosting some event for law enforcement, but he started ranting and raving like a lunatic. He called the White House a shit building before he moved in. He said it was a shit building before I moved in. He kept on saying that lots of people get confused between the type of water that's referred to as a sea and when you look and when you see things. And he wasn't trying to be funny. I mean, he's being serious. And he talks about how he likes to call Democrats dumbocrats. He made the people clap to see who would get more applause, Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance. He started saying that, Governor Newsom, who he calls Newscum, can't read speeches. He then said that he observed how the Secret Service picked up J.D. Vance like a little boy. He said, like a little boy, they picked him up before they picked me up, referring to the incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He then started talking about, he goes, it's not a paint job I'm doing in the reflecting pool. I'm putting on a pool coating. I'm making it into a pool. Let me just bring out the receipts and show you what just happened again. Here are the photos of what he actually, real photos, not manipulated. That's what he looks like. Here he talks about drugs coming by the sea. And he says, like water, not like what you see with your eyes. Here, let's play this clip.
That right, Paul, with respect to drugs coming in by sea, meaning drugs coming in by water, by the ocean, by the sea. A lot of people don't know what I mean by sea. They think I'm talking about vision. I'm talking about sea, like the sea. These gains have been the result.
He then refers to the White House as a shit house. Just think about what he's saying. He called the White House. He said, before I moved in, it was a shit house. Here, play this clip.
This place was not properly taken care of. I was told by my wife, you have to act presidential, so don't use foul language. I won't. Therefore, normally I would have said it was a shit house, but I don't want to say that. The columns were falling down. The plaster was falling off. You made a speech, and I was saying, couldn't you fix up the paint job up there? It looked, and this place is tippy-top now.
And again, I know probably corporate news won't talk about any of this. They'll just pretend that this is normal behavior. There's nothing normal about this. He then says, and I came up with a new name for Democrats. I call them Dumbocrats. It's very odd. And this is in front of law enforcement. Here, play this clip.
Inclined toward being a Democrat, or a new name I came up with yesterday was a Democrat, because I was talking about this guy. I think that could be a good one. I've come up with some extraordinary names. But I was talking about Hakeem Jeffries. He's a low IQ person. And he was talking about all these things. He was saying things that were so stupid, so basic and so stupid. He called our Supreme Court illegitimate. I don't agree with our Supreme Court all the time. I can tell you that. But you can't call it illegitimate. If I ever said that, you can imagine what would have happened. But there wasn't a big stir. But he was talking, and I said, he's a dumb guy. And then I said, he's a Democrat. And I don't know if people are going to like that term or not. It maybe catches on, and maybe it doesn't, but it's true. Their policies are insane, and they would drive our country into ruin.
He then takes a poll of the crowd and said, who do you like better, J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio? Clap if you like Vance. Now clap if you like Rubio. And the crowd went mild for both. Here, play this clip.
So we got a lot of beauties out there, J.D. I envy you and other people. I don't know. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be JD? Is it going to be somebody else? I don't know. Does anybody have? Okay, let's go. You ready? Who likes JD Vance? Who likes Marco Rubio? All right. Sounds like a good ticket. JD. That was a perfect ticket.
Then he talks about the Rose Garden, and he refers to it as, this used to be grass. And he goes, I want to welcome you to the Rose Garden. This used to be grass. I took a little heat from my wife. She said, darling, what did you do with my grass? What did you do with my grass? Melania, it's not your grass. It's the people's house. These people are truly sick and demented people. Here, play this clip.
But I want to welcome you to the Rose Garden. There's a whole new thing. This used to be grass. and took a little heat from my wife. She said, darling, what did you do with my grass? I said, people got tired of standing in mud. You know, the White House, you don't realize this, it's built on a wetland. So when it didn't have to rain. The grass was always soaking wet. If you had a news conference, the reporters who were back there, I think, the reporters, they walk out with their shoes. The female reporters in particular, they weren't thrilled. But I said, we're going to get a gorgeous stone, which we did. And we're going to put this up here. I don't know if you got to see it. It's just completed with the granite, the black granite.
And he talks about Newsom. I'll show you what he says. Let's play this clip.
President of, how about Gavin Newsom, though? He went out and he said he's a stupid person. He got bad test marks. He got bad this. He got bad that. He can't read a speech. In other words, well, I'm not reading too much of a speech either. But said he can't read a speech. He's not a smart person. He said, I'm dumb just like all the people in this room. And now he was accused of being a racist. I mean, that was the stupidest. This guy, what he said is so bad. It was the worst interview I've ever seen by a professional politician.
This is where he talks about the Secret Service going to J.D. Vance before him at the White House Correspondents' Dinner at the D.C. Hilton. And he goes, they lifted up Vance like a little boy, like a little boy. Here, play this clip.
They, no matter how well you do, they're going to find fault. But I will be the one to find fault if I think there was fault. They had great professional people, and they came out, and within seconds, I saw them take J.D. by the shoulders and lift him up like he was a little boy. I said, how come they didn't lift me up so fast? They lifted J.D., got ripped out of the chair. That was a view of the week. But they did the job, J.D., right? I think so.
He then talks about how he wants to turn the reflecting pool into a swimming pool with heavy pool coating, swimming pool coating. Goes, they say, the failing New York Times, they say I'm painting it blue. I'm not painting it. I'm turning it into a pool. Why are you turning the reflecting pool into an actual pool? What the hell is going on here? Play this clip.
So we put this magnificent coating. It's almost complete. Not a paint job. New York Times, fake New York Times. I call it the failing New York Times. They're losing subscribers. They're losing subscribers so badly, they don't know what the hell to do. But they said, we did a paint job. We didn't do a paint job. The place would leak, and we're going to have it totally sealed. It's basically, if you think of a swimming pool, a heavy swimming pool coating, and the pool person said, sir, we're going industrial. What is industrial? It's a heavy duty. It can handle anything. And it's going to be beautiful, beautiful color. I picked American flag. See the blue? I picked American flag. It was called American Flag Blue. I couldn't make up my mind. I had a hard time.
Then more of Donald Trump ranting and raving like a crazy person in front of the White House. I mean, seriously, he needs a straitjacket. Let's play this clip.
So the other people we have, and we have some of the greatest people on earth here tonight, Homeland Security. The Homeland Security team has been unbelievable, I have to tell you. And I came up with an idea that I thought was brilliant. I think all my ideas are brilliant, actually. But this one, I knew I was brilliant. Then I got a call from Tom Homan. He wasn't thrilled. Where's Tom? Is he here? I love Tom Homan. Said, I'm the greatest president in history. I said, Tom, you can't do better than that? Thank you, Tom. So I get a call from Tom Homan. He didn't like it, but everyone else liked it. I wanted to change the name of ICE, which is a tough name, you know, to NICE. So that when the fake news reports, they said it was a nice day with NICE. We spent a beautiful day with NICE. I said, you will screw them up so badly they won't know what to do. But they said the people that worked there didn't like the name as much.
He then says that Kash Patel needs to get more publicity, I think sarcastically. Let's play it.
FBI Director Kash Patel, does he get enough publicity? If you could get a little more publicity, it would be very...
He then says his acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, got the position because he helped Donald Trump avoid prison. He goes, this guy helped me get out of jail for years. Yeah, because Trump's a felon. Trump is a criminal. Trump is a sexual predator in that he was found civilly liable for sexual assault. The fact that law enforcement is there clapping for this and normalizing this shows you everything you need to know about the corruption they're in. If they're clapping, this isn't Law and Order. This is some demented behavior. And you're aiding and abetting a freaking felon for being there. Shame, honestly, shame on you. This isn't what this is what law enforcement should be. Law enforcement should be, I support law and order. Let me be very clear. And I stand with real law enforcement. This ain't it right here. Let me be very clear. I don't know what the hell this is. This should not be normalized. Let's play this clip.
We have a man who's doing a great job, I'll tell you. I knew it. Because he kept me out of jail for years. Acting Attorney General, carte blanche. He kept me out of jail. They would indict me left and right.
Then he goes to the apparently law enforcement that's there. I'm going to join you for dinner. I'm going to put aside the Iranians and I'm going to join you for dinner. Great to know. You're going to put aside the Iranians as we're running out of oil in this country right now, as Americans can't afford anything right now, as people are suffering and psychologically tortured. Right? Just good to, you're going to put the Iranians aside for a little bit to talk about how the White House was a shit house before you got there. Okay, Donald, here, play this clip.
And they said, oh, it's the police we're honoring. Oh, I'll have dinner. So I'm going to join you for dinner. Is that okay? I'll set aside the Iranians for an evening. I'll put the Iranians aside and we're going to have a little dinner.
And just so you see, when he ends the speech, like they clap at this thing, like the audience. I mean, it's a very low clap, but what is that? What are you clapping at? What are you Why is any of this being normalized? This should be front page news. Everybody should be outraged. This is some sick stuff. This is 25th Amendment. This is disqualifying every aspect of this. And it won't get covered really anywhere but the MeidasTouch Network. And that pisses me off. Here, play this clip.
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
And then before doing this event, he spoke with the Indiana football team that won the national championship, and he didn't realize that Curt Cignetti, the coach of the team, was standing right next to him. He didn't know who Curt Cignetti was. One, you could probably know that if you know anything about college football, number one. But number two, maybe you want to do a little bit of research to know who's standing next to you when you're up there. Probably the main guy next to you is who you want to know. And here's the thing about Curt Cignetti also, is that this guy was like a disciplinarian, right? This guy was, whether you liked him or you didn't like him, he was arrogant and he talked about getting his team into shape and, military discipline. And then he behaves like this. Then he stands next to Donald Trump and lets himself be clowned by Donald Trump. And you throw it all away. When you're used as a prop by a literally deranged, demented, psychopath, war criminal, you're now complicit. Zero respect, zero. Because what the hell is this? Your whole act, your whole shtick, you just stand there and act like a freaking prop. You're a loser is what you are for being a prop to this. And history will not judge you kindly. No remorse. I want to treat you like babies, It's ridiculous. Play this clip.
Think of this. The press conference in 2023, shortly after joining Indiana. Who's Curt? Curt Cignetti. Where is Curt Cignetti? Right here. Huh? Oh. Come here. Curt Cignetti has turned out to be, I think he's the coach of the last decade because...
And then he starts to say that all the football players behind him are handsome and he's attracted to them. Let's play it.
He's a good-looking guy. I don't like good-looking people. I don't like good-looking men at all, believe me.
And then, of course, he rants and raves about the ballroom in front of these football players. Play it.
You're amazing. You have made the fans really proud and inspired millions, all of you, the coach and the players, and reminded everyone that with determination and lots of hard work, anything's possible. And I said to the coach, we have a very special area. Well, that's very special. We're building a beautiful ballroom. You can see it's not too small, Coach. We need it. For 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom. We're going to give them the greatest ballroom anywhere in the country. I'm very good at ballrooms. I'm very good at building things. But I said to the coach, it's a special place.
And then earlier today, he just fell asleep for minutes, just slept during a Oval Office press conference. It was supposed to be about maternal health, but they spent the whole time talking about sperm. And RFK Jr. talking about sperm, and then Donald Trump started doing his demented ravings. And then when other people were speaking, Donald Trump just fell asleep. here he is falling asleep. Watch for yourself.
Pharmaceutical cost. So Trump RX has brought a lot of the prices of medications down. For me personally, Gonal F has been one of the main medicines that people use.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching. Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.